Oh, he's got 2 pair. And you wonder if he calls there thinking, you know what? Sir Ladalot probably doesn't have a big ace. He would have raised if he had a big ace. Oh, and Sir Ladalot's in a lot of trouble. He's going to bet $2 million. Diogenes probably going to check raise here. Effectively putting Sir Ladalot all in. There it is. The check raise to $7 million. And this would put Sir Ladalot all in. Sir Ladalot calls. Pot is $16.879 million, and Sir Ladalot needs to get lucky on the river. Not going to happen, and Sir Ladalot, well, you're Sir Outalot. Sir Outalot is from Wartenberg, Germany, and he earns himself nearly 41,000 American dollars. Congratulations to him. And then there were 6. LeChuck Poker moves all in for his last $6 million. He's got about 12 big blinds. And while people at home might be scratching their heads going, wow, he's moving in with 8 high. He's putting the heat on his opponents. Remember, much tougher to call an all-in than it is to actually move all-in. FRTK going to call, and this is virtually a coin flip. Well, not a coin flip anymore. FRTK flops second set. And LeChuck Poker, well, LeChuck Poker is now turned an open-ended straight flush draw to the river. Oh, look at that runner. And LeChuck Poker makes the flush on the river and doubles up to $12.4 million. And it looked like a bad beat, but you know what? 7-8 of diamonds against pocket 6 is really not in bad shape at all. Although he was in very bad shape after that flop. Azazel all in with the 9s. Can't blame him. He had just over 6 big blinds. And Thoboy probably going to find himself pot committed here. It's $2.2 million to call. Pot was $5.2 million, so he does make the call. He's in bad shape. But it is Azazel's tournament life on the line, and oh, well, Thoboy's flop top pair, but Azazel's open-ended, and he's now hit the straight. Azazel makes the straight. Thoboy does make trips on the river, but it's for naught, and Azazel now up to 7.47 million chips. And it's perfect timing for him. He doubles up, and then he gets aces. Gotta love that. Blinds now up to 300,000, 600,000. And this is pretty standard. Azazel shove. Yeah. There are times to play aces tricky, but when you have 10 big blinds and a player in front of you is already raised, just get it in. Your opponent's not going to go anywhere. I mean, generally speaking, unless he's got absolute garbage. Sure enough, Royalize calls. This is one of those hands that just plays itself. Pot is 14 million chips, and here's the flop. Queen, 4, 5, 2 hearts out there. Royalize does have a heart in his hand, but he is now drawing dead, and Azazel 1980 is going to double up one more time. Now has over 14 million chips. And Diogenes, still our chip leader.
Growing up on the circuit, everyone wanted to offer me advice. When to bet, when to fold, when to raise, what to wear, what to eat. But there was one piece of advice that took me to a new level.
Daniel, don't do anything stupid.
At PokerStars.com, there's a tournament starting every second. Develop your game at the world's largest poker site.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million. 6 players remain. FRTK is our short stack. And this is what it looked like at hand 39. We're going to jump ahead a little bit. And at hand 61, FRTK climbs out of the cellar, but still only with 9.3 million chips. Azazel now up to almost 20 million chips. Talk about a chip in a chair. This is a guy who had 6 big blinds. Now with over 30 big blinds, and he's got pocket aces. And he's in great shape here. You got a button raise. Diogenes just not going to give that guy credit. He's going to 3-bet. Happens so often. You just don't give the guy in the button credit for a real hand. You think he's stealing. And Azazel shoves. And Diogenes calls. Unbelievable turn of events. I thought actually Azazel overplayed his hand. I actually would have preferred kind of a smaller 4-bet. But you know what? It worked out for him. What do I know? 10-7-3, couple of clubs out there. Diogenes in bad shape. And that is it. Diogenes not going to win this hand. Azazel, from the outhouse to the penthouse, he is now our chip leader. Things happen awfully quick in No Limit Hold'em. Interesting play by Diogenes. I hate calling off with ace-queen. I don't mind shoving with ace-queen. To be honest, I don't really mind shoving with any 2 cards. If you think you've got some fold equity. Calling off, obviously, you need a stronger hand to do that. That being said, though, 6-handed, I think Diogenes had made up his mind when he 3-bet that if he got 4-bet, he was going to call. FRTK all in. LeChuck Poker calls. FRTK's tournament life on the line, but he's flop top pair. LeChuck Poker has a gut shot to Broadway, needs a queen, and gets the queen. And that is it. FRTK is drawing dead. FRTK out in 6th place from Hungary, earns himself $61,422. 5 players remain. And things are heating up in the Sunday Million. Royal Eyes on the button. And once again, this is a great spot. You always want to pick up those big hands on the button. There it is. You can almost see the writing on the wall. The raise from Royal Eyes on the button. Thoboy doesn't give him credit. He's got ace-9. Figures he probably has the best hand. He 3-bets all in. Royal Eyes, easy call. And here's the flop. 10-5-3. Couple of clubs out there. Thoboy's got some backdoor draws. Well, you can pick up a club and only a club now. Royal Eyes hits a set. Nope. 6 of spades on the river. And Royal Eyes, with his set of queens, eliminates Thoboy in 5th place. As I said earlier, he's from Denmark. Earns himself $81,896 American dollars. 4 players here. Azazel with the 10s. Diogenes with the 4s. You can see fireworks here for sure. Diogenes going to play this one a little bit slower, though. He just calls. He probably likes the flop. I mean, anytime the board is paired, it's unlikely to have hit your opponent. And you figure if your hand was best pre-flop, it probably is still best. Yep, there's the bet. There's the raise from Diogenes. Not unexpected. Back over to Azazel. Contemplating his next move. He is going to re-raise him. And if you're Diogenes, well, now you can only beat a bluff, and he's going to get rid of it. There's a big pay difference between 4th place and 1st place. 1st place, by the way, nearly $300,000 today. It still blows my mind. But for a buy-in of just over $200, you can win over $250,000. And let's be honest, a lot of these players get in on satellites. You too can get on satellites. Diogenes all in with the queen 10. LeChuck Poker's not going anywhere. He's going to call. And Diogenes, who came to the final table as our chip leader, had over 40 million chips at one point, is now at risk. There's the flop, 8-7-7. Diogenes needs help. King of Spades not going to do it. He needs a queen or a 10, or he will be out in 4th place. Oh! The 10 of hearts on the river. And Diogenes gets a little bit of help from the poker gods. And LeChuck Poker, well, obviously not going to be happy with that one. He's now down to under 7 million chips. That's under 10 big blinds. Diogenes raises on the button. LeChuck Poker, well, clear shove here with ace-jack. And he does shove. And it's about 5.5 million to call if you're Diogenes. He can fold this, but he's not going to. He calls. I mean, it's marginal. He was getting just under 2-1. He makes the call, ace, ace, 4. And if you're LeChuck Poker, you got to like it. Yep, that's going to be it. And LeChuck Poker will double up to $15.9 million. And it's funny, I mean, generally speaking, if you're getting 2-to-1 or more, you will make the call. But chips lost are actually worth more than chips gained. And I'm not sure if Diogene should have made that call or not, but I'll let you guys debate that. So let me know what you think. You can tweet me at Tuck on Sports. LeChuck Poker all in with the deuces. Obviously doesn't want to see a flop. Royal Eyes kind of in a precarious spot, and he is going to move all in over the top with the ace-10. And we've got the virtual coin flip here. Royal Eyes versus LeChuck Poker. $33 million in the pot. 10-5-6. And LeChuck Poker, who is all in, looks to be all out unless he can catch a duck on the river. That, my friends, is not a duck. The 4 of spades seals his fate. And LeChuck Poker is out in 4th place. He's from Dortmund, Germany. I've been to Dortmund. It's a great spot. He earned himself 6 figures, $102,000. Blinds 400,000, 800,000. And Royal Eyes and Azazel, each with over 40 million chips. Blinds somewhat reasonable considering how large their stacks are. Obviously, Diogene only has about 20 big blinds. 6-4-3, 1 diamond out there. Royal Eyes with overcards plus a gut shot straight draw. Certainly has some equity in this pot, as you can see there from the percentages. Azazel playing the 10s a little bit slow. Disguising the strength of his hand. He's clearly under-repped the strength of his hand. And he's going to just call one more time. Pot $9.2 million. And if you're Royal Eyes, the Ace of Spades is a great card to continuation bet out. It's kind of a great card to fire another bullet. Certainly believable that you would have raised the hand like Ace-9. Put out the continuation bet. But Azazel's not going anywhere, and the question is, can Royal Eyes fire one more bullet? And if he does, I have to think it'll get through. If he bets here somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 million, I do think it will get through. But he can't do it. He can't fire the 3rd bullet. Obviously, so much easier for us. We can see the cards. Azazel has showdown value, and happy to see his 10s go to showdown because he is now over 54 million chips. And you talk about texture of boards. It's one of those things where, okay, what does your opponent think you've raised with? And is it believable that you would have put a continuation bet out there with something like Ace-9? Now you've hit the ace, so will you fire again? Of course you will. Diogene with kings. Going to play it slow. Just going to call. And lucky for him, he's still in the lead. But he's not in the clear here. Royal Eyes has flopped top pair. He also has a flush draw. And I got to imagine all the chips are going to go in. I mean, you're normally not in love with just top pair with a 9 kicker, but 3-handed, top pair is a monster. And the fact that you have redraw with the 9 of clubs, you're not going anywhere. Diogene raises all in. Royal Eyes does call. Pot over 40.9 million chips. Diogene in the lead, has to avoid a 9, a queen, or a club. And he does. And Diogene doubles up to nearly 41 million chips. Royal Eyes now in trouble with under 11 million. Well, let's take a look here. Azazel is our chip leader from the UK. I'll tell you. So many good young players from the UK. We're going to jump ahead to hand 120, and in the process, we do lose Royal Eyes from Budapest. And he earns himself